Good afternoon. I'm Dee, and this is Critical Break. Good to see everybody. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. It is Sunday, and right on cue, my son comes in the door. It is Sunday, January 28th, 2018. A lot of ones, twos, and eights in that. Good Sunday, Sir Steve. Yeah, interruptions. That's why I'm about 2 minutes late, as I was kind of waiting to see if he would come in the door, and so I went ahead and started, and I figured he would come in right as I started, but that's all right. We have a gorgeous day here today. It is really pretty. The last few days have been really nice. So I thought I'd start today with our usual Sunday thing with some of the photos I did this week. I didn't do a lot this week. It's been kind of a busy week, and there wasn't a lot to take pictures of, really. Nothing that really caught my eye anyway. So I will start with that. Let me pull these up. First, I'll show you my sky today, a little while ago, actually. Let's see. Shrink that. Now remember, when I'm sharing screen and stuff, I can't see what you guys are doing. So but that is the sky here today. The sun's all whited out, as very typical. And the very last part did not focus. Okay, and then I've got something else I want to show you, because one of my little friends came back to get his photo done. Oh, that's right, it wasn't that camera. It was one of the Canons. Okay, here we go. The American kestrel falcon, which is also known as the sparrowhawk, paid a visit again. And this time it wasn't freezing cold, and I got a bunch of really good pictures, and he wasn't all fluffed up because he was cold. So look at the colors on that bird. Isn't that amazing? I've got several pictures of him. I usually run off, a whole lot of pictures, so I make sure I at least get a few good ones. You can see his little curved beak right here. That's one of the differences between the falcon and the hawk. I was making noises trying to get his attention. And I caught him flying off. Unfortunately, the picture did not, I wasn't fast enough, and it's kind of blurred a little bit. But you can get an idea of his coloration under his wings and his tail. And his little orange feet. Super cute birds. Okay, we'll stop that now. Anywho, I hope you guys are having an awesome Sunday. Sir OR, good to see you. Turn that off. All right. Today we're going to talk about the awakening process. And some of you also have probably heard of that, called the Kundalini awakening. That's pretty much what it is. And first we're going to talk about what starts it. How does it begin? Why does it begin? To be honest, a few years ago, 10 years ago, hi, Miss Jessica. Good to see you. Yeah, amazing pics, right? Yeah, I get lots of great pics. I'm still trying to get, I've got a blue heron pair that live in the creek next to me here, and amazing wingspan. They've got crazy wingspan, and I'm still trying to get pictures of it. I haven't been successful yet, but I will. You watch. One of these days I'll pop in on a Sunday and go, guess what I caught? Anyway, but we're the awakening. What makes it happen in the first place? It seems like a lot of people will start out with usually some somewhat catastrophic event. Some people near-death experience, or severe illness, an accident, things of that nature seem to trigger this to happen. And what happens is, I think, we begin to, because those things sideline us so much, I think that we basically start having time to actually really think. We start noticing the world around us more. We also start thinking about the things that are broken in the world around us, and seeing all the things that are going wrong. And I think that starts the process. Some people will actually go to people to get what they call a Kundalini activation. I don't know if that's wise necessarily, because I think it happens for a reason, and I think it should happen when the time's right. And so um, I don't know if it's a great idea to do that. Excuse me. The basically with mine, it was illness and a whole bunch of near-death experiences because of anaphylaxis. Um, and there's some other times in my life where it was cutting it close, so to speak. Let me get a drink real quick. Yes, hard, sharp breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs from heaven. Hard, sharp breadcrumbs. Yes. But the thing that happens is one of the first things is you start thinking outward about the world around you. And then you start looking inward a bit, and some self-assessment starts to happen. And I think getting sidelined like that allows for you to take the time to do that. I don't know why my throat's being annoying, but it is. It usually is. Um, the I might do a mint, see if that helps, because it's got like an itchy thing going on. Anyway, so see if that helps. I hope it does. Anyway, you start looking inward, and people that are busy, that are healthy, nothing's happened to them, are busy running the hamster wheel. And what I mean by that is chasing what society expects them to do, chasing their careers, their jobs. And these days, they don't have time to think about those things and really evaluate the world around them. They don't stop to look up. They don't self-analyze. Anyway, so I don't know what the exact triggers are, but I think it's like a multitude of things. Like I said, um, a near-death experience will make you think about a lot of things, and your priorities will change. So I think that has something to do with it. Anyway, so that's pretty much how it begins from what I can tell, based on other stories that I've heard, other people, people that have been in accidents and things like that. Yeah, Miss Jessica, exactly. Get introspective to the nth degree, exactly. Good Sunday, my Skies 5B. Great to see you. But so for you all, any of you have anything that you would say was anything different than that? If you've actually started the awakening, I know many of you have. If you have something other than a near-death experience or a severe illness or anything like that, because that seems to be what starts it. Anyway, see you later, Clinton. My son had a friend over. I don't see anybody having any other different experience than those, because those do seem to be the big trigger, besides going to somebody and having it done. So anyway, a lot of people experience, when it first starts to happen, they experience a lot of excuse me, neurological symptoms, changes in the nervous system. Um, and you'll start seeing things that you didn't notice before. And I think part of it is, oh, okay. Yeah, that is another one I totally forgot about. A lot of people will use psychedelics and like DMT, ayahuasca, things like that. And that sometimes can start an awakening process. Yeah. Because you realize, oh, wow, there's a way more. A lot of people doing ayahuasca or DMT or a lot of other things will experience something they call the clockworks. I don't know if any of you have heard of that, but if you look at the sky, what you see going on up there is similar sometimes. Some of the things you see up there is very, very reminiscent of the clockworks. Also very reminiscent of angels, demons, all kinds of things, dragons. You know, just my thought on that. Yeah, you see it too. Yeah, in your sky. Yeah, so do I. You know, I thought about what is going on there. And the fact that dimensions seem to be stacked right on top of each other. I have a feeling that what we're seeing is other dimensions pressing in and through. Why that is anybody's guess. But I don't, it seems to happen in skies that have the whitish stuff going on. So, I don't know, just a thought. Anyway, so you get all kinds of symptoms, and they can vary widely, just like everybody's individual. So some people will get some symptoms and others won't get those symptoms. They'll get something totally different. Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about, the dimensional, like it's pressing through, like pressing through a curtain. And the chemtrails are a curtain, basically. So if anything, it's not covering up anything, it's enhancing things in my view. Anyway, because you can see that all on your own. And you don't need drugs to see clockworks and all kinds of entities, because when you start doing your awakening, you're going to start seeing some stuff. It's kind of like it's like your eyes are closed at first. And when you start the awakening, it actually opens your eyes, really, like your senses become heightened in every way, including hearing. And yeah, you start seeing all kinds of fun things. But the problem is, when people first start experiencing this, that with the neurological problems, they'll think that they're going crazy and losing their mind. They'll suffer with what they think is anxiety, which is actually just high energy spikes. Some of it can be mixed with anxiety, because when you start seeing and feeling these things, your anxiety level will go up, especially because your ego is trying to make sense of what's happening, is the best way to put it. And so a lot of people will make appointments to the shrink, they'll start medications, um, antidepressants, and that really, I mean, I feel bad for them because they don't realize what's happening to them, and they just think they're going nuts. Because society wants to tell you that's what's going on. You're just going nuts. And that's not the case. They're not going nuts. And I feel sorry that they don't realize, and they end up getting on these medications that stop their process and takes them off their path. So, and it can delay it severely. So, or keep it from happening at all. But some of the symptoms are, um, you'll see flashes of light in your head. You'll see orbs and other entities. You will see, or you will hear, a lot of people, one of the symptoms is tinnitus. Well, let me tell you something about tinnitus. Tinnitus can be something that happens due to hearing loss. But if it starts happening during an awakening process, it's quite something else. Your hearing becomes more sensitive. It's like all your senses are heightened. So you start hearing things you didn't notice before because you're becoming hyper aware. And so you're going to notice things like the sounds of fluorescent lights. You're going to notice possibly the sounds of electricity through the walls. You'll notice the sounds of EMF, RF from towers, cell phone towers and things. There's a lot of things you're going to start noticing. And so tinnitus, another thing is when this process happens, your people call them all different things. I call them angels. But your guides, your guardians, your angels will introduce themselves. And when they're trying to talk to you, some of that high-pitched sound you're hearing is them talking. If, let's put it this way, if it's directional, that's probably your people trying to talk to you. So listen up. And they will train you. We talked about telepathy because they speak. Sometimes you'll get verbal out loud from them. It's rare, but it happens. I've gotten it a few times. Sometimes you will get little things where they train you to hone your skill, your telepathy skill. And I've talked about that, about them showing me a butterfly. They'd talk to me and say, hey, look out the window. And I'd look out the window and yellow butterfly every time. Or, hey, go outside. And every time that would happen, I'd grab my camera, go outside. And sure enough, there's always something to take a picture of when they prompt me to go do that. And it's like one of those feelings like you just, if you ignore it, it gets more bothersome. So you just go do it. So anyway, oh, I'm glad you like the topic. Yeah, smells and tastes become enhanced. Yep, yep, yep. And My Skies 5D said dormant codons in our DNA are thought to be activated by photonic light potential that is increasing in our atmosphere. Could be, I know that the process for a lot of people is just starting or just recently. And there's a huge flood of people waking right now. And I think that's a really good sign for our planet. Like, it's a wonderful thing. I know it scares so many people when they go through the awakening process, especially the very first when it totally throws them off guard. Because let's face it, when I first heard of Kundalini and all that, I was like, what? I didn't believe it. Had no clue. Little did I know. So, yeah. And because your rational mind, your programmed mind, the one that, between religion and education systems that are in place tell you, don't go there because you're crazy if you go there. Don't talk about those things. Shh, taboo. Ooh, don't do it. Don't say it. So so yeah, a lot of us when we first start waking up, it's like you're afraid to share those things with people because the taboo in society over those things. And everybody talks about the new agers and their Looney Tunes and all that stuff, and it's like program is heavy. It's like deprogram. People need to deprogram. I think if everybody was deprogrammed and awakened, what's going on this planet would never have happened. Never, 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 ever have happened. So, because, yeah, when you go through an awakening, you realize everything is connected and you realize all people are connected and your your conscience and your heart would never allow the things to happen that have been. And with the programming, people get stuck in that mode of, well, what can we do about it? Because they don't realize what they really are or who they really are and just how much power they really have because they're programmed to believe they have no power. So they don't even look. That's sad, right? But there's a huge bunch of people right now awakening, and that is fantastic news. So any of you just starting that process right now and you're scared, stop being scared. Just let yourself relax into it because it'll go a lot easier on you if you do. And just yeah, it'll become a thing and it's going to throw you off your life path that you had previously, I can tell you that. And you'll start wanting to do things that are better for the planet, better for yourself in general. And one of the things you'll notice is the um, you'll suddenly have an urge to eat better. Um, and suddenly yoga doesn't sound like a bad idea. And eating better is key. It'll help you get through the process quicker because it'll um, quit toxifying your body with the stuff that's at the supermarket, basically. Because there's a lot of stuff and in the foods that will keep you and slow you down from your awakening process. So organic, organic. A lot of people will stop eating meat. Your body will actually start rejecting meat. And I'm not joking. Even if you loved it, your body will make it so that you're so miserable you won't eat it again. I can tell you that. Happened to me. So, yeah, you have to prepare yourself for that because if you like a steak once in a while, be prepared for your body to say, "Oh, nope, nope, nah, nope, not happening." Yeah, I had some experiences that were unpleasant because, yeah, when your body rejects certain foods, man, it can be whew, an experience. Anyway, some of the other things, you'll get visions, dreams. Suddenly, lucid dreaming and vivid dreams become a thing. Some of those will be your actual guides, guardians, angels, your home planet peeps. That's them talking to you. And a lot of times they're just trying to comfort you while you're going through the process and lead you and help you learn. So, yeah, Sir Tony. Tony's been talking about his dreams. He's in the awakening process. Yep, definitely. He's been having some crazy ones. Yeah, you'll have to listen to some of his videos. If any of you guys are interested in some really crazy videos, yeah, go sub his channel. And My Skies 5D has some fantastic stuff he's doing. He's got, what is that, Lucid Vertigo? Is that your other channel? Where he's putting music to some very cool fractal type videos and kaleidoscope type stuff. It's really cool. So definitely check those out. So My Skies 5D, he does a lot of the sky stuff with the entities pressing through in the clouds. And yeah, I've been doing photography of that particular subject for a long time. Because yeah, when I first woke up and started noticing it, I was like, wow, there's some stuff. And this isn't, oh, look, that cloud looks like Mickey Mouse. This is way beyond that. When we were kids, we'd look up at the clouds and try to make, what shape does that look like? The detail, these aren't normal clouds like that. These are detailed. And yeah, his other channel is Lucid Vertigo. Yeah, it's amazing too. I love what you're doing. Anyway, let's see. What are some of the other things you'll have happen? You'll have insights because you're going to be reflecting a lot. And you're also going to be looking outward a lot more. And so you'll get a lot of insight. Another thing that starts happening is synchronicity. And we all know that one really well. Synchronistic things that happen, like, let's see. What's a good example? Say you're listening to a certain song, and then somebody you're thinking about is listening to that same song at the same time. That's synchronicity. And it happens to me constantly. It's like every day, constantly. The other thing that will happen is, let's see, what did I write down? Oh, yeah, you'll start seeing the world completely differently. Like I said, it will take you off your current life path and put you on one that's more beneficial for you and the planet. So, and the guides, angels, things like that, they are going to help you learn what your real life path should be. You'll be way happier doing that because it's like comes natural to you. And they will give you and help you guide you to your mission, which is your new life path. And that can be, well, mine is doing this. They bugged me for a long time about doing these videos. And I dug my feet in, didn't want to do it, didn't want to do it. And it took me a while to finally get my rear in gear and do the videos. But, because let's face it, not everybody wants to be on camera. Not everybody wants to be put out there to be to be micro analyzed, or anything like that. So it took me a while to get to that point. But I finally caved, obviously, and here we are now. Good Sunday afternoon, sunrise. Good to see you. But anyway, so the other thing that's going to start happening when you're going through an awakening is whatever belief systems you had in place about the government or religion, you're going to start questioning those. And anybody with a rational mind is going to see through what's really going on there. Some people, it's bad because some people get stuck in their awakening process, and they'll just be in a vicious circle. And the only thing that's going to get them out of that is their guides and themselves. Because I think they come up against these walls where their belief system is challenged, and they go into cognitive dissonance, basically, and start looping. And that's unfortunate. But hopefully they'll move along with their progression. And another thing that happens when you're going through the process of awakening is your IQ actually increases. Which is good because it helps you to process what's happening and reevaluating everything about your past life path and what your new one should be. Let's see what else. Yeah, I already talked about this. You discover everything is connected and conscience. And how you start discovering that you yourself are a manifester and can actually manifest. Be a creator of your own reality. And once you come to that conclusion, the sky's the limit. Once you really take that into yourself and you're like, wow. And you believe you can do it. That is amazing. You see lots of halos. Yeah, that's common. And there's a lot of visual with awakening. Lots of visual. And it's the best movie ticket in town. Life is not boring when you awaken. That's for sure. You're never bored. Never, never, ever. There's always something. Yeah. Let's see. Trying to see. Let me get my glasses on. I hate glasses. I absolutely detest them, but here we go. I wrote too tiny. Okay. Like I said, you get visits. You also get visits from ETs, which are your home planet people. And those can be your angels, guides. They are your home planet peeps. You'll know it's them because you're going to feel like they're your people, like they're familiar to you. You're going to feel nothing but affection, empathy, loved, literally, when they're around. So you'll know it's them. There's no mistaking it. Let's put it that way. Some of the other symptoms are tingling sensations. um, muscle twitches, flashes of light in the brain. This is a big one. Body vibration. The energy can be just crazy and hard for you to take. It'll feel like anxiety. Um, rushes of energy up your spine. Those are interesting. Swirling, cool sensation. Some people report a feeling of internal, like it feels like it's raining on the inside of their body. Some will report that it feels like it's raining, like a light, misty sprinkle on the outside of their body. It's just the sensation the nervous system is giving on the skin. Pulse sensations in the root and crown chakra. The root is at the base of your spine, down between your buttocks. And then, of course, the crown is the one up top. You will get increased sexual energy. It's a thing. Spontaneous, can I even say it? Spontaneous orgasms. And yeah, it happens. Not joking. Yeah, it happens. Happened to me. Yeah. And that was, yeah. I'm not going there. Maybe in the private chat after the show, but here, no, not going there. Amplified senses, altered states of consciousness, sometimes loss of sensation. It's like almost like air, like your body gets overstimulated, stimulated, and everything just shuts down sometimes. This one I've had many times. Oh, let me fix this. The sensation of your skin like crawling, like bugs crawling on your skin. I had that one, especially my feet. I don't know why, but it was my feet. I talked about the hearing much higher and much lower tones. It's not just higher tones. You'll hear lower tones, much lower than you used to, like earthquakes. You'll hear them before before the shaking part happens. So you'll be like the dogs and the other animals that freak out before it happens. Let's see. You'll have changes in your sleep and your eating, both. And the sleep can go both ways. Lack of it, which some of you I know have been complaining about. Perfectly normal. I went through that period too. Now I'm in a period where I'm sleeping more normal. And I actually, especially when you're doing a lot of energy work and you're trying to transmute a lot of negative energy, I find myself having to lay down and take a nap. And it's not oh, I'm so sick, I need to go lay down. It is a pleasant kind of tired. And it almost feels like I'm being pushed to do that so that my people can link with me a little deeper, I guess is the best way to describe it. You're also gonna have, and this goes along with the anxiety, depression stuff. People think they're crazy. You're not crazy. You'll have periods of where you just cry all the time. It's really normal. Or periods where you're laughing, and you'll laugh at stupid stuff, or you'll just start laughing for no apparent reason. Okay. Now we're going to talk about ways, or let's see if I've got anything else. Yeah, you'll get flashes of light. You'll see the orbs. You're going to see a lot of stuff, entities. You'll also notice when you're watching, hopefully you're not watching televisions anymore, but if you are, um, or if you're watching somebody's video, you'll notice the orbs floating around. You'll probably see them in my videos because they're around me all the time. Especially the nighttime because the lighting's right, and you'll see them more frequently in the evening. Not that they're not here, because they're here, and you'll be able to hear them actually, which is kind of cool. And that's what I was saying about the directional ringing sounds. That's, yeah. But you'll be able to identify that stuff as you progress. Things that you can do. Oh, also, before I go to that part, you will get downloads. And this is one of the things they were doing with me. And they were teaching me to listen to them. That was another part of the telepathy thing, training your telepathy and for you to listen. Information downloads. Like I was getting downloads about airline crashes, vivid, perfect, exact, would happen almost right away, especially the daytime downloads, not the dream state downloads. Those were a little harder to sort out and actually match up with anything. But the daytime ones were clear, vivid, exact representations of what actually happens a few days later or 24 hours later. So I was getting airline crashes and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I'm like, why are you showing me that? I can't do anything. And it's just their way of teaching you to listen. So you'll get that. You're going to get your purpose and your mission for being here. So look forward to that part. You could remember past lives because many of us have been incarnated over and over and over again here. Anyway, now we're going to talk about, people in the chat room are talking about their experiences with feeling joy and crying like crazy and feeling joy, crying and being happy all at the same time. It's overwhelming. It really is. It's amazing though. Keep that in mind. People get scared when they start the awakening process because they do think they're going crazy, but keep in mind, keep yourself calm and centered as much as you can. And remember that this is like an amazing thing that's happening to you. It really is amazing. The things that you can do to help ease symptoms of the awakening process, because some people actually get muscle pains and all kinds of odd things that happen. But there's a lot you can do to speed the process up and make it way more pleasant. So here's what we're going to talk about. Yoga. Some of you will naturally be attracted to doing it because of the Zen time that it gives you, the meditation time. Meditation is key. It's going to speed this way up, way up. And let's face it, getting to really look inside yourself and really evaluate, and it gives you more time to spend with your guides and things like that. You can astral travel. They talk about remote viewing. You can do that, but astral traveling, that type of remote viewing is totally different, and it's way more accurate. Way more. Um, so yoga. If you're getting that anxious, like the energy is so intense that you can't hardly stand it and you feel like you're going to come out of your skin, get your feet bare or socks or leather soled shoes, no rubber, and get your feet out in the grass on the earth and take some really good deep breaths. Close your eyes and just breathe. And you'll sense the vibration of the planet itself, and it'll help calm you. Um, if you can, if the weather's going to be nicer soon, so we'll be able people that live in areas where it's nice all the time, they're lucky because they can run out there any old time and do that. But uh, yeah, if you can go outside and sit in the grass, that's even better. And do your meditating outside if you can, under a tree, or just as long as you're outside. But that will help with that anxiety thing, or the bug crawling, because that's energy. That's your nervous system and the neurological symptoms that happen that will calm that. Another thing, detoxing your body will help speed this up and make it way more pleasant. And here's some tips for that. A detox bath. Now, in a detox bath, you can use either baking soda or Epsom salts. Some people use combination. Some people will sprinkle lavender oil or clary sage in their uh, detox bath and soak for 10 to 20 minutes. And then after you do, though, make sure you shower because um, and scrub, not just rinse off. You need to kind of scrub your skin a little bit with a wash rag or something, or do dry brushing or something. It just makes more sense to shower to me. Um, but what happens is Epsom salt or baking soda will bring toxins to the surface of your skin. And if you don't get that off the surface of your skin, it can cause all kinds of horrible breakouts and things like that. So make sure you shower off, scrub down a little bit afterwards. So detox baths, those help. Um, clean eating, of course. And like I said, your body's going to start rejecting meats. Just it's probably going to happen. It did for me. So um, leading a vegetarian or vegan, organic lifestyle, stay away from the GMO stuff. Because you'll notice whenever you eat that stuff, it's going to make you feel like the your all your energy is going to go into the basement, and it's going to slow down your process. So clean eating. Um, another thing that you can do for detoxing is diatomaceous earth. Not only does it help get rid of heavy metals that are in your system, um, from prior vaccinations and other exposures, but it also helps. That diatomaceous earth kills parasites too. So it's great if you have pets that have worms or something, you can give them diatomaceous earth. Um, I take mine every day, 2 tablespoons, about an hour before bedtime. And also, if you have any achy joints or something like that, it helps with that. It's full of trace minerals and things, so it's really good for you. I was actually, when I was first said, yeah, you actually drink, you put it in water and drink it down. I was like, what? And then I remember when I was a little kid, I used to eat the dirt under my swing set all the time. And I think your body kind of tells you what you need, and you will eat odd things because you know, or you'll get a craving for something weird like dirt. I did. Some people eat chalk when they were kids. I mean, come on, admit it, you guys. Some of you guys ate some weird stuff. And it's like you crave it. It's weird. But diatomaceous earth has lots of trace stuff. So definitely try it. Try it. It'll help. Because if you can detox your body and clean your system up, it helps your pineal gland and it will help open up and get that process going a lot quicker. You don't want it to go super fast because it's going to be overwhelming. And that's why I was saying people that have a Kundalini awakening done by somebody else that triggers it, I don't know if that's a great idea because I don't know if they're really prepared for it because I think it kind of comes along when it's supposed to. Another thing you can do with your system, because a lot of people have been subjected to antibiotics or steroids because of allergies or illness. So your system is going to be really overtaken with yeast. And yeast is supposed to be there. It's a natural part of your system. But what happens is it becomes there becomes way too much in your system. And it throws your whole pH off balance in your body. And so a good thing you can do is kefir. Some people call it kefir. It's made with milk, but it's also good for people that are lactose intolerant because the little grains that make the stuff eat lactose. So if they're eating the lactose, it gets all the lactose out of the milk. And kefir, a good way to describe it, especially the plain, it's kind of like yogurt, but it's also kind of like buttermilk. So the consistency is like a yogurt smoothie and has far better probiotics in it than yogurt ever thought about it. I mean, if you buy yogurt from the shelf at the grocery store, there's hardly any living little dudes in there. So you really need to kefir, yeah, good stuff. It'll help balance your alkaline, acidic part of your body. So that will help with this process too. So just, and yoga, like I said, yoga, exercise, get out in nature, have, you know, whenever you feel overwhelmed, go do something that makes you feel good. And that's usually going to be something out in the sun, outdoors, or even out under the moon. But most people, the sun is, beneficial because that helps with any depression type symptoms you might have. But so anybody have any other suggestions? Alpha lipoic acid and distilled water and vitamin K2 brain detox. Thank you for that suggestion. That's awesome. DE powder. Yes, diatomaceous earth. If you use it, don't fluff it up because it's a very, very fine powder. Don't fluff it up and get a bunch of it in the air and sit there sucking it in, breathing it, because it's not great for your lungs. You can ingest it, no problem. Doesn't hurt you. I've been doing it for over a year, and I know people that have been doing it for 20. Won't hurt. It doesn't hurt you, trust me. But yes, you don't want to be breathing in a bunch of it. That's for sure. But it would take, if you look at the studies, it would take breathing in a massive amount to actually cause a problem. So, I mean, like Sir Steve was saying, to wear a dust mask when you're preparing it. But what I do, Some people, I think, are a little overly paranoid about it. But what I do is I take my little spoon, put the 2 spoons in some filtered water, and then I walk away from it because as it's sinking, it's gonna be kind of fluffing up in the air a little bit. And I walk away, I go brush my teeth. I do this about an hour before bed, and I'll just let it sink by itself, unattended, just leave it on the counter. And then when I come back, all that's settled down, so you're not breathing anything. But yeah, you don't wanna get, you know, tons of it flying up in the air and breathe it, that's for sure. But it does, it takes a pretty good amount of it to actually cause a breathing problem or anything. So, anyway, any questions about the awakening process? Doesn't look like anybody's got any. I know the chat kinda lags behind what I'm doing, so I'll wait a little bit longer. But yeah, the awakening process, the time it takes, that varies. And that's as individual as each person is. Um, I would say, um, some people have a spontaneous one, which doesn't happen very often. And then others, it can take weeks, months, and some years, especially the ones that get hung up because of their um, cognitive dissonance when it comes to their um, religious beliefs or uh, governmental beliefs. The indoctrination's heavy. So if they get stuck, it can take a long time. And why certain people are waking up and others don't or never do, I don't know. I just think the time is right when the time's right. What is DE power? That's diatomaceous earth. It's spelled Diatomeous, diatomaceous. And it's ancient earth. People wonder what that is because it's something that is used a lot. You hear about cults and witchcraft and stuff using diatomaceous earth. Yes, it is ancient earth, way down deep. It's not surface soil. Yes, it's fossilized diatoms. That's right. Little tiny shells, itty bitty, also known as silica, correct. Well, okay. My Skies 5D is asking, how do we find more awakened people in our physical 3D environment to interact with? They naturally gather. They're all looking for each other. Have you noticed that? The gathering's happening. It's happening right now. You guys are here. Yeah, awakening can be a very lonely process if you're in a relationship with somebody that poo-poos it, or you're alone already. And that's another thing that can happen. When you're going through an awakening, your relationships with friends, family, significant others can change drastically. And a lot of times you come out the other side with a totally new relationship. And sometimes, yeah, it like I said, your path that you were on when it starts, it's gonna totally change that path, most likely. I mean, there's a few people out there that their path will not change because their path all they picked the correct one in the first place. But, yeah. And if you put an E where that I is, you're correct. Ceous on the diatomaceous. Anyway, I hope that helps some of you because it is the awakening, especially the large number happening right now, is wonderful. You should be excited. You should be ecstatic that it's happening. And I think it's going to make a big difference for this planet, our holodeck. That's what I call it, the holodeck. Anyway, I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely Sunday. I'm going to spend some time with my sister this evening, but I do have some time right after the stream to hang out if you guys want to. But anywho, I hope you have a lovely Sunday evening, and I will see you guys again probably Tuesday. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people awakening. Tons. And they are gathering. They are gathering. Anyway, love you guys from here. Warmest fuzzies. You know what that means. Love and hugs. Love you guys from here to the stars. Have a good one. See ya hopefully Tuesday. Bye for now.